So, welcome back to my World of Tanks replays with the mighty Jingles, and we're in the M4 Sherman. Tier 5 American medium tank. Great little tank. And, unfortunately, this is an assault map on Prokhorovka. Words cannot fully express how much I detest the new assault mode of gameplay. Well, I say new, it's been around for a month or possibly two now since patch 7.4 was introduced. I like Encounter. I think Encounter really changes the way you play the maps that it's available on. Assault, not quite so bad on Malinovka. Absolutely horrible on Karelia and Prokhorovka. It just... Here's the thing. It's so easy to fail horribly on assault on Prokhorovka, whether you're attacking or defending. And that's because... Well, let's have a look at the map. So Prokhorovka, you have 3 choke points. You've got one here where I am, you've got one here in the middle, and you've got one here. And it's the only 3 ways over this railway line. Now what we see here... Okay, now at least these guys have some balls, right, and they're going for it. So full credit to them. There's only 3 of them, and it's not enough. Here comes the heavy, and now he's going to try and push over alone, and it's just not going to work.
We nailed it bad. Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is damaged.
And this is why everybody fails so hard
Gotcha.
when they're attacking on Prokhorovka. Because if you sit on that choke point, you're going to die. If you come over in dribs and drabs, you're going to die. If the defenders sit on top of the hill and don't come down and defend these choke points, you're going to lose. And while this would work fine in a company battle, in a random match, you cannot expect that level of teamwork and cooperation. So you tend to fail hard.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Or it just turns into a really boring campfest, which is what usually happens. Now, fair play to the red team in this one for actually, growing a pair of balls and trying to push over the railway line. But as happens in public matches, random games, whatever you want to call them, over and over and over again, there's just not enough coordination to make it successful. And the only time that kind of tactic ever works in a random match is if the defenders can't tell their arses from their elbows and they don't reinforce the choke points. And that happens. Well, that absolutely definitely happens. But coming over those lines one at a time, or even worse, stopping on top of the junction, is not going to do you any good. You're just going to die.
We nailed it bad.
I actually switched to high explosive here.
Gotcha.
And that first one didn't penetrate. Bloody artillery. Okay, still got HE loaded. Still looking for artillery. There's a KV-1 out there somewhere, but I don't expect to find him over here. There he is. Reload armor piercing. And this is something you should be doing in an M4 Sherman because it reloads so quickly. There, they're all gone. Um, so, yeah, Prokhorovka on Assault. It's not my favourite game mode at all. It just doesn't seem to be... Well, I don't want to use the word balanced, but it requires a level of coordination that just doesn't exist and is never going to exist in a random match with random team members. Not even going in there with a platoon is enough, certainly not if you're the attacker. It just doesn't seem to be enough to make the difference, because even 3 tanks coordinating amongst each other and pushing one of those choke points, they're going to fail if that choke point is defended. The only way it's going to work is if the enemy team are useless and they haven't defended the choke point. Certainly the northern choke point over the railway line, the defenders have to get somebody down there, especially in mid-tier games like this, because the guys on the top of the hill don't have the view range to see anything coming over that railway line. And then once they're over, they can get into the bushes and it's too late. You've been outflanked, you're going to get rolled up. And the level of coordination in random games just isn't there. It usually relies on a couple of individuals seeing what needs to be done, going and doing it, and taking it for the team. You see this. You see it on Prokhorovka, you see it on Malinovka, you see it on Karelia. Assault just isn't working in random matches. There is not. It requires a far higher level of coordination, in my opinion, and in my experience, far level higher coordination than exists in random games. Encounter, as I've said, I quite like. I think it radically changes the way some of these tired old maps play, and that's a good thing. But Assault, no. Assault in Clan Wars, Assault in Company Battles, where you do have that level of communication and coordination, yeah, it's fine. It certainly has a place in that environment, but the sooner they remove Assault from the random battle rotation, the better, because every time I get this map in this mode, and I'm attacking, it's you just get that sinking feeling. And regardless of what tank I'm in, I pretty much just want to get it over and done with as soon as possible. I mean, I'll never quit out of the game, but I will push over one of those choke points. And sometimes it works, most times it doesn't, because nobody follows you over. They just wait, let you die, and then they start peekabooing over the top and getting pummeled, and then pulling back, which hasn't achieved anything other than to lose them a load of health, and then they peekaboo over again, and then they die. If you're going to go over these lines, you need to go over these lines, but you can't do it alone, and you can't expect random teammates to back you up, and that is why Assault fails in random games. Your experiences may differ. I mean, I've had good games in Assault where the teams have been very aggressive and they have pushed over, but we're talking one game in 30. The odds are not in your favour. Generally speaking, the attacking team cannot win this unless the defenders are incompetent. And attacking teams do win, because defending teams can be incompetent. But any kind of game mode which relies on one side to be crap, otherwise you're doomed to failure, is just fundamentally broken in my opinion. As always, you're free to disagree, but you come here for my opinions, and that's what it is. So until the next time, catch you on the battlefield.